Today on The Best Years. Is your personal health care information safe? Learn how to protect yourself from medical identity theft. We'll show you how to keep your bones and your body healthy and strong. April 15th is right around the corner. Our in-studio expert gives you tax time tips. And get inside the cover of best-selling books without leaving your home. It's all starting now on The Best Years. From the Ocean County College TV studio, here's Sandy Levine.
Hello and welcome to The Best Years. Today's show is filled with news you can use. The statistics are staggering. Each year, about 10 million people, many seniors, are victims of identity theft. One of the newest trends, medical identity theft, is on the rise. It can be very costly, and most importantly, it can affect your health. Joining me is Kevin Zepp, President of Liberty Healthcare Services, who will tell us how we can protect our healthcare identity and avoid becoming a statistic. Welcome to The Best Years, Kevin.
Thank you for having me.
Now, you've worked in the healthcare industry for quite a while. Can you tell us what is medical identity theft?
Medical identity theft occurs when an individual who may have already had their identity theft stolen has fraudulent bills incurred on them by an individual who has stolen, individual or organization rather, who has stolen their medical records as well as information. So
other people are charging services that are fraudulent. Explain more how that works.
Yes. Basically, individuals are going out and using someone else's information to obtain medical services. And of course, this is a danger because it can compromise not only the financial integrity of someone, but also their health care as well.
So similar to when someone takes your identity and steals with your credit card information, opens up credit cards in your name, this is somebody using your health care insurance, for instance, to bill for services that and collect on the money?
Yes, that is correct. And it is, right now, it represents 5% of identity theft. Identity theft, as many people know, is one of the fastest growing crimes in the country. So obviously, this particular aspect of it is coming under a lot of scrutiny.
Now, there are numerous victims here. Of course, the person whose insurance information has, or medical identity has been stolen, the healthcare providers, the insurance companies. What are some of the consequences of medical identity theft?
Unfortunately, they're numerous. Obviously, for the individuals whose identity is stolen, they can not only exhaust their current benefits and not be able to obtain health care when they on their next visit, or if they have to go to the emergency room, but also on the provider aspect, there are organizations that aren't able to receive payment for services rendered. So, and then of course, for Medicare and other insurance payers, there's, unbeknownst to the payer, there's fraud that occurs.
So they can be paying out millions of dollars in insurance claims that are fraudulent.
That is correct.
So what can people do if they realize that their medical identity has been stolen?
I think that's probably a twofold question. On the individual basis, naturally they would call the authorities, and then the authorities would begin to investigate it. But then the providers need to, by November 1st, 2009, the providers were required to be in compliance and implement a red flags program, which requires them to train all of their employees to basically remain cognizant of what issues could arise.
They're looking out for signs of medical identity theft.
Correct.
What are some of those signs?
Fraudulent documents that are presented, perhaps either forged or seem to be tampered with, Social Security cards, insurance cards.
Sometimes there's a conflict in information people provide.
Correct.
Discrepancy.
Correct. And there's a lot of information that is shared amongst providers, doctors, hospitals, home care providers, and if an employee of one of these providers recognizes that that information from Dr. XYZ's office has discrepancies in it, then naturally that would raise a flag. If bills are being sent out and they're either being sent back to the provider and the individual continues to remain on service, then of course this could raise a red flag as well, because they may be stealing the person's identity.
So what should families think about when they're choosing, in your case, home health care services? What should they think about when they're choosing a provider or having people come in their house to provide home health care?
I think just with a lot of things, I mean, especially due to the intimacy of the nature of the situation, they should really exercise prudence and ask the right questions. Are the individuals licensed and bonded? What type of screening do you conduct on your employees, and is it adequate? There are several resources that you can go to online that will allow you to determine if any offenses have been brought against this organization, and as well as do they have this particular program that we just discussed in place.
And for seniors who may start to need some help at home as they age, what kind of services does your company provide?
Right now, Liberty Healthcare provides hourly and live-in certified home health aides, licensed practical nurses, as well as registered nurses.
Helps people keep in their homes.
Certainly does.
Kevin Zepp, thank you so much for coming on The Best Years today. This is a complicated topic, but so important to keep track of your medical identity. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Now, if you'd like more information on medical identity theft, visit the Federal Trade Commission's website at ftc.gov and click on Identity Theft. For information on Liberty Healthcare Services, visit their website at libertyhealthnj.com.